Namaste and welcome to Light, Laughter, and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt. I'm an Avesa quantum healer, medical intuitive, Self-Ascension intuitive counselor, and your friend and soul connection for the next hour. So welcome everyone. This is an exciting day for me as we are in this energy of choice. And we have been here all month. And so what is the choice? The choice is about, are you saying yes to yourself? Are you saying yes to your expansion? Are you saying yes to your upliftment? And are you saying yes to the you that you know deep inside has always been there, has been just waiting for this moment? And so we are in that moment. And so in that moment, I have said yes to expansion. And today is my first live stream. So you can watch this live on Oneness Talk Radio Facebook and Oneness Talk Radio YouTube. And hello to everyone who's listening on the podcast on Oneness Talk Radio, and also Anchor and to all the affiliates. And if you so desire, I'm going to be doing this weekly on Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So you can come and watch this live and you can join in the chat, ask questions. And hopefully it will be a place where like energy, like souls can come together in this time of upliftment. And so in this yes time and in this yes moment, as you continue to say yes to yourself, you will go through many layers of expansion. And one of those layers happens to be what's called the law of instant manifestation. And so what is that? Like, everything you think about, you put your energy on, talk about, it shows up somewhere. And so this is where I've been really powerfully since about June anyways. And I was in this yes moment thinking about it. And sure enough, I get this Facebook feed with someone who's got this video on. Hell yes. And she is from Boise. Her name is Joy Perreras. And she is my guest today. I had to invite her in because she is totally in alignment with this moment. And before I invite her in, I want to read her bio because I think it is so beautiful. So Joy Perreras is a personal freedom and radical alignment guide. Don't you love that? She is a gentle yet powerful guiding light, mostly for women, opening them to blossom into their divine power and true liberation. She believes in moving our emotions into motion and to always begin with our body and our being whenever we are stuck or unfulfilled. She is now empowering soul-led seasoned women internationally with her radical alignment work. As a certified master coach, she guides women through her one-on-one coaching, workshops, and retreats, undressing their hearts, releasing stuck emotions, allowing more joy in, learning the art of letting go, and rediscovering their deepest soul's expression. She's co-authored a book on women in transition, spoken on same stage with Miriam Williamson and others, and was in a co-led a breakout session at the Conference for Global Transformation. Her work is all about feeling deeply connected to who you're meant to be. And so she's on a mission to harmonizing and blossoming women's lives inside out from their innate knowing and deep truth, because men, children, and the world will reap its unlimited benefits. And that is so true, because the more we lift and share our light, the more we ignite others. And so welcome in, Joy.
Hey, thank you.
Hi, Joy. So I'm going to take us back a little bit. I'm going to rewind to that Facebook post where you had this great video about saying hell yes to yourself. What inspired that? Obviously, you were feeling the energy of the moment. You picked up on it.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for also letting me know, because I didn't know August is about the whole thing about saying yes and making choice. So that was really cool. Yeah, so it's something that's been stirring within me for 3 years now, from something that happened in my life, which is the death of my brother. And so from that moment, because I cared for him for 3 months, cancer, and, you know, his last breath, I was holding his hand right next to his bed. And in that moment, I just said, you know what? I'm saying heck maybe to my life. You know, like when is it going to be a hell yes for me? So from that moment on, I just did a lot of looking in deeply and looked at where am I not saying yes to me? And not from a selfish point of view. It's more like saying yes to me because if I wasn't in full yes to me, I'm not operating fully and present to whatever I do out in the world, and it's really a disservice for anyone, including people who love me. So it's really a lot about unraveling and unpacking the things that all of us have saying yes to or maybe to that wasn't in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true, and that's take body, mind, soul, spirit. Like we need to keep truing, and it's not a one-time thing. It's not about perfection. It's the progression of it. So when we say yes to ourselves, it's saying yes to that moment. Is it in alignment with me? So that's kind of like the shortened version of the movement, and also what really I'm about. And then my mission and vision is to really help a lot of, I call them seasoned women, because women who are seasoned in life have so much life experiences that, we sometimes forgot to say yes to ourselves. And we're at a certain time in this planet right now where we can make huge impact and huge difference. So that's kind of like the mission that I have. And thank you for having me here. This is really, really cool. Your first guest.
I'm so glad to have you here. Yeah, on this day of saying yes, and it's my first live stream, and so you're here with me in my rebirth process, right? We're both rebirthing.
Awesome. That's
well,
awesome.
You've done this before. You have your own weekly show, don't you?
It used to be it used to be twice a week, then it got to weekly, and then I'm revamping. So I have a group called Blossom Inside Out for Women, and we do what I call the bio conversations. And we do exactly just like this. We have a conversation on what supports us in our blossoming.
Oh, nice. Where are you seeing women needing the most support right now?
Well, most of them are confused, or I don't want to say lost, but a little bit of an element of being lost. I think with so much going on with humanity right now, whether it's global or local, there's a lot that we've kind of been disrupted. There's a lot of disruption to the quote unquote norm. And though we feel like we want to go back to the norm, we really don't. First of all, the norm was not fully in alignment with a lot of us,
Right.
So I think we're now just unraveling a lot of the stuff of like, what is really true for me? And that's what's happening. And I think humanity, whether it doesn't matter what's going on in your community, there's this question that's being brought up for all of us. And for me, it's like, I don't have the answer. The answer is with you individually, right? Mm-hmm. But what I provide is like have that question emerge, have it show up, versus like, no, like, like, I don't want it to show up. No. Mm-hmm. So, with your context of having choices this month, like for us to have any kind of a choice, we first got to look at our reality. Mm-hmm. And what happens is we have this false reality that we think is true, when if we go really stop and take time and take a moment and listen in, we get more in touch with what's real for ourselves. And that takes practice. I'm talking right now like, oh yeah, Joy, it's so easy. No, it takes practice, but you know what? It only takes like stopping. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to get a gadget. Mm-hmm. like just take a moment. Stop and let's listen with it. That's I always tell people, like, what first stop. Just stop everything right now. So many distractions.
Well, the gadget part made me smile, because actually a key to that is to get rid of your gadget. If you can't be in control of them and they become in control of you, and you're distracted, because boy, there is a million things to be distracted with. You will not take that moment to even look inside and
Yeah,
see what's there. And I think people distract themselves because they don't want to look. It's
totally.
really hard. You got to look in the mirror. And first of all, you just got to look in the mirror.
Yeah,
And then
totally.
once you look in the mirror, then you have to start really learning to love what you see, no matter what you see.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I think that's the unconscious thing that happens. It's like we're afraid to find out the truth within. And my story is like I wasn't always like this. For years, my early adulthood, I was always busy. I kept myself busy. If I wasn't busy, I felt like I wasn't worthy of something. I mean, that was the belief that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew that there was something off. There was a moment where actually my body stopped for me. I was rushed to the ER.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know what was wrong. The doctors didn't even know what was wrong. My body just said stop.
And so
And
how did you,
they have to observe me. They said, we're going to have to take you in for 24 hours because we can't figure it out. And I realized, like, wow, it was just like my body going, stop, 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 stop. I had to actually sit or lie down in a hospital bed to actually stop.
so how did you experience this stop? Like what happened? Your legs just didn't move forward?
No,
You're just
I had pain in my gut. I had pain in my
oh,
stomach. And they did
mm,
all kinds of tests. No, I was actually having pain. And I
mm.
thought it was something, and I thought it was something serious. They said, no, we can't find anything. So we just need to observe you for 24 hours. And through the 24 hours, I just laid there and go, I wonder what's wrong with me. But it was just my body going, stop. And then what do I do? Of course, I didn't listen. Well,
So,
I mean, really, we're like stubborn that way. And so I
right.
went back to being busy. And then, more things happen in life. Life will show us certain things where, you either take the lesson or you don't, but it'll keep showing it to us until we actually really, really get the lesson. And, not good, not bad. It's just that's how we
Right.
just evolve.
Right. Yeah, and our soul communicates to us through our physical bodies. And and so it's funny because your body stopped. You had 24 hours to observe you, right? And it was probably your 24 hours for you to observe you.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Totally. I still remember that one. I still remember, could still see it, the ER room and the bed. I still see it because it was an interesting moment for me. Yeah.
So then you went back on with the same old, same old. What happened? Did
Yeah.
you get another notification from your soul?
Yeah. I've had so many hits, 2x4 hits by the universe. It's not even funny. That's why I do what I do. Cause it's like here you are, you're way past your midlife and then, it's like, you just got to live your hell yes. It's like, we can't keep, for me, I'll speak for myself, and I hope that other people get inspired or at least see it for yourself. For me, it's about really finding my truth, my peace, my joy, my freedom, my power.
Mhm.
That's not dependent on anything or anyone, and that's the greatest gift you could give yourself, and that's the greatest gift you could give humanity. Because when you're in that space, whatever you create is totally in full alignment with who you are. And you
Mhm.
become a more effective leader, more effective mom, you're an effective friend. It's like that's what shows up. So, it's not about being the Gandhi of the world. It's about being the Gandhi within you, such that whatever actions you take on is just fully in alignment, and that you don't get distorted by every little nuances, every little chaos and challenges. Now, we're going to have chaos and challenges.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that you're going to be walking like this walking guru, you're going to have those. The beauty of it though is like you're going to have them, and it's like you can have the awareness like that, and you can shift it, and you can even really feel it, all the emotions, without being disempowered or
Right.
without dimming yourself.
Right. Yeah. It's challenging at first, and then once you understand it and you get it, you can be in a place where you're lifted and you can move through those experiences so quickly because you've had the awareness and you've had the experience. And
Mhm.
now it's like here it comes again and you're like, I got this. So you can
Yeah.
um it becomes more fun as opposed
Yeah,
to
I
a
mean,
challenge.
the whole idea is about really being here now, present. That's it. That's all. That's all. What happens with all of us, and I'm still guilty once in a while. Like we are not always fully present. When we're fully present, it doesn't matter if you're angry, sad, in grief or happy or joyful. Like as long as that's a fully present experience, because that's what's real. It's not. It's not. I mean, it's like it's real. You can't deny it. And other people may want to have you deny it, or other people may want you to change in a certain way, but that's real for you. That's a real experience out here in the world. Like that's who you are.
Yeah, presence is so important, especially now. Anyone who's got the gift of being able to carry their presence, because there's so many people that are having a hard time and so many people that are distracted. And if you can be just present with them for just a moment, the gift that you are giving them is incredible. Even people to be heard by someone is
Yeah.
such a gift right now. So to be able to offer, well, first you have to be able to offer that presence to yourself. And once you've really been present with yourself, and I know you've probably been on this journey a long time as well. So we've been doing a lot of looking in the mirror and healing stuff so that we could be that presence right now for others when they need it.
Yeah. You can't be present for someone if you're not present with yourself. That's for
Right.
sure. That's for sure. Otherwise, it's just inauthentic. Yeah.
So going back to the women thing, because we are in a massive uh, women, the feminine energy coming back out, roaring like the lion right now, and really stepping into our empowerment. Um, I know when I look back and I look at the mothers around me, and of course you tend to attract people who are similar to you, but I know my biggest challenge was to put myself first.
Mm.
And I was a mother, well, still am a mother of 3 children, but always putting them especially before me, and
Mm-hmm.
then other people too. And boy, it took years to work through that one. And it's such a twist in humanity. I mean, humanity honors people who are selfless,
Mm.
but yet to be an empowered woman, you have to be self-full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's that's a real, I call it a dance, because there's no one simple rule. First of all, you and another mom, you'll all have different life experiences, right?
Hmm.
And what I say is that it is a cliche. It's like, yeah, take care of yourself first. Put the mask, oxygen mask on you first. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's cliche, but it's got a lot of truth to it. Because
Hmm.
you can't function fully, effectively, and lovingly, and in with great joy doing things as a mom. Gone are the days when moms are just moms. Now moms are like either have jobs, businesses. It's like there's just so many elements.
Hmm.
And so, like, what works for you could be different from what works for the next mom. But as long as we focus on and also keep looking at, what will serve me here so I could serve them. That's always the inquiry. What would
Right.
serve me so it could serve them fully? It's
Right.
not about what would serve me and forget them. That's
Right.
not the idea. Or it's not that let me serve them and let me be the last person. It's not that either. It's like the
Hmm.
question is what would serve me so I could be empowered, enjoy, and filled up such that it ripples out there and serves them even more.
Right. And then you become that mentor for your children. They'll model that energy
Yeah, they
later.
see it, they feel it. Sometimes all your
Mhm.
actions doesn't make as much a difference as your energy.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more on that for sure.
Yeah, to feel it for sure. I mean, I know my mom. I felt everything, even though she was doing all the right things.
Hmm.
I mean, that was a different era, but it's like I could tell she was always stressed out. And it killed her early. So it's
So did you have a master's walk, so to speak? So many people that are doing what they are right now had to walk through a number of things to get themselves to where they are.
It's interesting. I never heard the master's walk. I don't know. I think, don't we all?
Yeah, but did you have any significant? I mean, there's many people that I've talked to who are on this path who had to go through a lot of stuff to get them to where they are. A lot of challenges, let's just say, wake up calls. So you had the one with your body.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoop. Where'd you go, Joy? Let me see. I'll invite you back in. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can get Joy back into the call. Let's see how I do that. Okay. Whoop. Joy, if you're watching, go into the chat. Oop, I don't think that worked. Okay. I'll try something else. Whoop. Compose to Anna. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm still here. I don't know what happened, but Joy just kind of fell away. And hopefully she'll come back in. Okay. Sorry, everyone. I was having a great conversation with Joy, but I guess... thanks, Rosemary. I think she'll find her way in. Oh, there she is. Okay, let me see. I'm going to message her. Oh, there you are. Yay, she's back. Hi. There you are.
I was talking to a blank screen. It's like, what happened? And then I see all these writings on the chat.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to send you the link and it came across the bottom of the screen. You know what? Sometimes when you say yes, you have a face plant. So
we flow. We just flow. So did it stop? Or
you just went away for a little bit, but you're back on. We're live now. So
okay, I don't know where I was talking.
Okay. So if someone can comment and let me know that you both see Joy and I, that would be awesome.
I thought the live stream just stopped.
No, we're still going. I think we're back on. I think all's well.
Okay.
So
all right. Yeah, I thought maybe there was a time limit or something.
No, we're good. So let's jump into your
or you call it the master.
Yeah. I asked you if you had a challenging walk that got you to where you're at.
Okay, master walk. I'm gonna have to write that down because I never heard that. Oh, there's echo. Oh boy.
No, I think you're good.
Okay, I'm echoing though. So all right, that's fine. Let me make sure I'm not on two screens. Okay.
You sound great from here.
Okay. Yeah, I my work as with women, it definitely was, there's a lot of catalysts for it because of my journey as a woman, as a feminine being on this planet. So there was that, and there was 2x4 when I got married, and got married because my parents said I should get married versus honoring my truth and honoring that I didn't want to get married or that it wasn't time for me to get married. And like things like that where I've I pretty much followed the rules.
Right.
Whether it's the rule of my family or the rule of our culture, the rule of, business. Like there was always this thing of not being in touch with who I was, not being in touch with what was true for me, or even if it was true for me, I wasn't trusting it. Because of how I experienced life, and as a child, making decisions a certain way. I wrote this down on one of my Facebook posts. Like, I have a second grade 7-year-old incident where, like, all of a sudden I made myself like I'm stupid and dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the lens I had as an adult for a long time, until I became aware of it. That, because of that, I didn't trust me.
Right.
But that was a 7-year-old second grader who made that decision. But because of that too, a lot of things happened really great. It's like we take our experiences in life, there's cost to it, and at the same time there's also benefits to it. It doesn't really matter, because it's like it already happened. It's the past. It's like you can't change it. What you could do in the present moment is like recognize it. It's the recognition that always gives us the power. It's the recognition that gives us the power to accept it as what it was or what it is, that it's not who you are now, and then act from there. So all of that, it's like, and then also just a lot of stress in my life because of trying to go for what the world deems successful. Like we can all relate, right? It's like there's this thing of measures. You measure someone who's successful or beautiful or powerful or influential, or like all the different measures that's been conditioned for us and has us question ourselves. So I went through all that different iterations in my life, like, comparing ourselves because, they're this way, so I should be that way, when in truth, that doesn't actually align.
Right.
So that's like, okay, that's made from fear. That decision or that choice was made from fear. I don't even call it a choice. Those are just decisions. There's a difference. It's subtle, but there's a difference between a decision and a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're talking choice, this one.
Right.
So a decision is like side. The etymology of that word means to kill off. So when you're making a decision, you're killing off certain aspects of that, so you could come up with this one decision, right? You're killing off other ideas or other things. When you're making a choice, it's a choice. It's like there's no because this and that. It's like it's a choice. You own that choice. In other words, examples like, you choose your parents. You have no other, and you have nothing else to say. Choose your parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's like, like you can't decide on your parents because you don't have other parents to decide from.
Right.
Talking about your biological parent. So,
Right.
It's a choice. You make that choice. You just make that choice and you honor that choice because it's a choice. So, so in my life, I made a lot of decisions, from comparison, from conditioning, from like what I thought people will like or love, So for women especially, it's all we want to be loved. That's kind of like an innate yearning for women. The feminine, it's about being loved and appreciated. So sometimes we go a distorted way to get that. And there's a lot of, mastery lessons there.
Oh boy.
Right? Like I know for my life, and I know from coaching women, it's just that's how we learn. That's how we recognize what doesn't work for us.
Mm-hmm.
We can't experience or we can't recognize the things that doesn't work for us until we get in the game.
Right.
That's another pitfall for people, is that they're afraid to get in the game of life. They
Hmm.
want to perfect it first, or they want to be perfect first. But no, get in the game. Get in the game of life, because it's not going to be perfect. Then from there, we get to decide, we get to choose, we get to recognize, oh, that didn't work. Shoot, like okay, next. So that's the living your hell yes is not. It's not about hell yes, everything's gonna be awesome. No, it's about hell yes, I'm gonna be awesome no matter what's happening. That's living your hell yes.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when we say it's gonna be, it's outside of you. When you say I'm
Right.
gonna be, it's always within you, no matter what's externally happening outside.
Right. And I love the word alignment that you're using a lot, because
Mhm.
that is so much, it's so real. When I think about the hell yes and saying yes to us, I've got this vision that I've had for a long time. I know what I look like. I know what I'm wearing. I know what I'm doing. And so it's a practice for me each day. What one thing can I do to align myself with that vision? Maybe it's buying the outfit. Maybe it's buying the one thing I see on the wall. Maybe it's getting up a little sooner to do the one thing I'm seeing myself doing. But it's taking those little action steps every day to say yes. And I've had conversations with people who work with people who have passed on, and the one big thing they say beforehand is, I wish I would have just lived my life the way I wanted to,
Yeah,
in alignment with their truth or their being.
yeah,
And if I think too, if I were to have that ending, that would be my greatest loss too, to have come here and not have been that person that I knew that I came here to be.
yeah,
So we have this opportunity, and right now, if you're paying attention to the outer world, it may not look like there's an opportunity, but there is. The energy is here for us in huge ways to make everything line up in that direction.
yeah, totally. Yeah, and interesting because I never thought August is so interesting, because first time for me to also find out about the whole Lions Gateway,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
8-8, right? It's like, whoa, that energy sounds like it's right on time with what's going on with all of us within and out here in the world. And then you telling me about the whole choice thing is like, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you feeling the lioness energy? Like, are you feeling a part of you wanting to roar a little bit more, step out a little bit more?
I think I felt it towards the Lions Gate. It's like there's this sense for me, both for me and also for my voice to be more out there to, like, liberate women through it all. And yeah, definitely. In fact, I was just on a coaching call right before you. It was my coach coaching me, and I was just telling her, like, oh, I was doing this live, and I feel like I'm being a little too passionate. Like, I feel like I may be repelling people. And she just started laughing, and she goes, yeah, and
That sounds like something you'd put on a resume, right? What are one of your faults? Oh, I'm too passionate.
and then,
Please don't hire me. I'm way too passionate.
yeah, so it was so funny. She just kind of like put the mirror in front of me, and she goes, yeah, and you're talking about hell yes. It's like, that's exactly who you're being.
Yeah.
You're embodying it. It's like, okay, I got it. I just needed that, like, are you sure I'm doing it right, kind of a thing.
Right. Well, we all need validation at times.
Yeah, because I'm getting myself out there online. My work hasn't been online because I never really touched online before. But now, it's like, okay, being online needs to happen. So even though I'm deep in my work and I've done a lot of work with people, it's always been kind of like offline, you could say.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm showing myself online, which is a totally different animal.
Totally different. Totally different.
So I acknowledge you for like doing all this and taking all the
Mhm.
technology stuff. Like, oh my goodness. So I feel like a baby in it. So yeah, so that's different. So like I'm talking to a little green dot right now, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Where I'm so used to like this tangible talking to someone, in person or doing retreats with a group of women, it's like it's fascinating. It's just fascinating.
Well, it makes me smile. I got my degree in public relations,
Aha.
and I never dreamt in a million years that the reason I got that degree was to publicize myself. I thought I'd be working for an agency doing the work for someone else, and as I find myself doing all these different things, I'm like, oh, no wonder I went to college for that.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, there are no accidents. There really aren't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. I mean, that's why I say, a lot of people get so hung up with their past. And,
Right.
sure, our past was not perfect. And there's a lot of things. I mean, and I'm not minimizing totally all the traumatic stuff too. I have one or two of those. It's what has us be who we are at this moment. And,
Exactly.
and they all kind of, at a certain point, are building blocks to our strength. And all the weaknesses that you've seen about yourself, they're still like the building blocks because you got to see them.
Exactly.
Otherwise you won't, it would just be a default. Right now that you're aware of them, you can't default to them, at least, consciously. Now it's just like it's a little bell that shows up now. It's like ding, oop, that's not you, oops. And we will make mistakes, and we will, fall flat on our face, and that's all good. We're not avoiding that. Certainly I always tell my clients, like, don't avoid that, because the moment you avoid that, you're not present.
Agreed.
The moment you're starting to avoid something, you're no longer present. Just be in life. Just do what you feel resonates for you in alignment with, and the world will not always agree. Learn that well.
Yeah.
So
And it's okay they don't all agree, because that's what makes life interesting, and that's what makes a rainbow, right?
yeah, and also you get to find your place in the world, and that's been a huge lesson for me as well. As someone who like to follow rules, who'd like to be, always try to fit in. I was an awkward teenager. I didn't fit in at all. Coming from another country, it was just like hard to fit in. I had to deal with some things that, oh, okay, it doesn't work that way, kind of a thing. And how teenagers are. It's just
Mhm.
that's the time when they're trying to find themselves.
Right.
It is an important time, and it's also the worst time for a lot of us, our teenage years.
Mhm.
Like we're just growing up into ourselves, our body's changing, our voice is changing, a lot of clicks in the little high school and junior high, all of that is like, oh.
And it's all showing up in our skin.
So, give yourself love and compassion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you had mentioned something. You had said that back when you were 12, you had made a decision that you were,
Two, second grade, seven, when I was 7, yeah.
when you were 7, yeah, that you, um,
Dumb and stupid.
yeah. And you said then you had to work through that as an adult. So what did you do to work through that? Was there anything key that helped you through those thoughts or a
The
belief system?
the most important thing for me that transformed that is recognizing that a 7-year-old made that decision.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, there's nothing to do about it now because that happened already. So
Yeah.
now when I about to do something or are in the middle of something and I feel like I'm too dumb or too stupid to do it, um, I just go, okay, that was a 7-year-old. I'm not a 7-year-old kid right now. So you just become so much more aware and become so much more present in the moment that you're not a 7-year-old. making that choice. So you for me, I just the awareness of that gives me so much more freedom and more power when that lens shows up.
Right.
Just like I could take off that lens, or I could play with it and just play with it. You know, sometimes I would actually play with it and play dumb and stupid and see what happens. But I'm conscious of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's the fun part. It's like you're not being ruled by it unconsciously.
Exactly.
But I could see my life through that lens. I could see why I made certain decisions. One of them is like I was never an academic, intellectual kind of a student. I wasn't, and it probably was based from that. Unbeknownst to me, I love using my hands. I love taking actions, kind of like physical work. And I look back like, oh, okay, I was in fashion design for 35 years. That's no accident.
Right.
I loved working with my hands and creating things. You know, I hated writing and reading. You know, I like to read books, but it's not my go-to thing. I'd rather like play sports or do something kind of like extreme action type things, or create and do arts and crafts. You know, like it's not good or bad. It's like you just gotta start recognizing, how did that happen? You know, it doesn't mean I can't read. Doesn't mean I don't want to read. It's just that I know that that's what started it all.
Sure. Yeah, and you created a belief system based on your gifts and trying to fit it into a school system that wants you to go in another direction. I see that a lot. I substitute teach. Well, I have for years, and so I see that.
Yeah, and then you know, and we can't help that. So if there's any parents watching this and like you want to save your kid from making decisions like that, you can't. In fact, they probably already made decisions already. You know, it's just part of the human nature, human condition. You know, we can what kids decide about themselves at that early stages are really important. It's not something we can control. What we can do is keep providing an environment for them that they're loved and that, you know, and that they're healthy and all that. But the decisions they make, it's like I know my parents didn't know I made that decision. It didn't matter.
Sure.
Yeah.
So tell me, you formed a group, right? A Hell Yes group, or you're in the process of forming a Hell Yes group?
My group right now is called Blossom Inside Out. In Facebook group, private group. It's free, so if you want to join, just go to my Facebook page, and there's a link there for a Blossom Inside Out group. And I just post things that helps us blossom. So it's our blossoming, which another word for it is our growth and development. I use the word blossoming for the feminine because we're always unfolding a petal, you know, always unfolding, you know, until it's time for us to wilt. Keep unfolding. So yeah, so that's the group that I have. It's called Blossom Inside Out Bio, BIO.
Nice. So what kind of things can people expect to find in the group?
There's tons of interviews like this, talking to all kinds of women and their different journeys, and also different aspects, from an entrepreneur to a health coach to, you know, and then maybe I should have you there for sure one of these times, to, you know, lots of interviews there to just watch and see. And then I do daily prompts for things. And as I'm building my Hell Yes movement, there's going to be so much more in that category about that. And, you know, and also just go to my website, joyperreras.com. And, you know, if you're interested, if any of this is kind of curiosity for you, or like you're curious what this is all about, I give a certain number every month for a free half-hour class, kind of like a call with me, not a class, a call with me. So just go to my site. There's a button there for a free call for a half hour with me. Yeah. And I love what I do. And I'm noticing kind of one of the choices I made, since we're talking about choice, for me is is to just flow in the area of my business, because I was in the go go go, drive mode, like most of us, and I got sucked into that. So those are one of the few 2x4s by the universe that kind of like, my one of my master classes by the universe too was the whole thing of just like trying to be successful externally, but I wasn't successful internally. And that's why I do what I do. I've tasted the 6-figure lifestyle. I've tasted the 7-figure lifestyle. And at this moment, I'm the most at peace, the most happiest, the most fulfilled. So it's like, it's not the external stuff. Those are all good. We should strive for the things that we want in life that makes us, gives us the pleasure. However, to just depend on that and to think that that will serve your heart and your soul is a total illusion.
I agree.
Yeah.
So we have not very many days left in August. So everyone out there has this opportunity to really say yes to themselves, to an expansion, to the truth of who they are. And I know every time I say yes to an expansion, my ego freaks out.
Yes.
Our ego doesn't like those expansion yeses. It doesn't know what to do with the yes. It's used to being in control. And if you're saying yes to something, it doesn't know. It'll do a mini freak out. Do you notice that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's the saying, I'm sure you've heard it before, like the truth will set you free, the first it'll piss you off.
What? The what will piss you off?
But first it'll piss you off.
Oh.
The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. Yeah, because the amygdala, our brain, which is awesome, really wants us to survive, right? So the moment you go off the script, it's gonna want you to just like, no, that's not safe. Danger.
Yeah. So if you could give advice to people who are maybe listening, they're like, oh, I don't know. This feels a little risky to be who I truly am, right?
Yeah.
What would your advice be to motivate someone, to push them into their truth a little bit more?
I'm gonna go a little Nike on you guys and say, just do it. But
yeah, Indiana Jones, right? Just jump. Like I did today, right? With this.
Well, pretty much that's kind of like what it takes, though. However, here's the thing. The thing that which we talked about earlier during the talk, which is about stopping first, right? Like, it's like, to make that choice for yourself, you really need to be in touch with you. And that really takes something for you to just stop and listen in. And lean into that and trust it, right? And then make that choice. And then check in with your heart, your soul, your body, your mind. Are they in alignment with that choice? If they're not, that's okay. You then want to look at, okay, what is off? So recognize what is off and then see if you could true that in. And sometimes you're not going to get 100% alignment, and that's fine. And you want to take action, then make that choice knowing that it's not in full alignment, so you could recognize, so you could be more aware that it's not in full alignment, and that you see the warning signals of it, so you could true it. I don't know if that's making sense, but that's kind of like, it's like, don't wait for the perfect moment, don't wait for the 100% alignment, but know that you're not in full alignment, so you can have a warning sign to true that into alignment. So I say, lean into it, make that choice. This is life. This is not a rehearsal. So do it. Like take it in. Take it in with your wise heart, with your courageous soul, with the love for yourself. Not because someone is telling you, not because you have to, or not because Geri and I are saying you have to. Like, no. Do it for you.
Right. And Also, if you want a rehearsal, a mini rehearsal that I like to give people is to write their perfect day. And so sit down and just, how are you waking up in the morning? Where are you waking up in the morning? What do the sheets feel like?
Mm.
What are the smells? What are you hearing? What's outside the window? And just move through your whole day, put yourself into a dreamland, a dream space, and let your imagination go wild. And that's the space when you can go back to that little child that didn't have any belief systems, didn't have any rules, that believed that all dreams or anything is possible. If you can bring yourself to that state, and then from there, what would my perfect day look like, and start putting it on paper, that's one step into bringing it into form.
Yeah.
And it's also a step in getting really clear about what you want or you don't want, because you're now having to write it down, and you're not living by default. Meaning you're not just getting up and doing the, nourishing yourself or feeding yourself, going to work and doing the same old and getting stuck in a pattern.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And then what I love, you just reminded me, the other thing too is like when people write a lot of gratitude journal and things like that,
Mhm.
right? So that's cool. So one way also is to write a gratitude journal for your future, like creating, Jerry's talking about your day. You could also go, okay, at the end of August, thank you for whatever that is. You haven't quite manifested yet, you don't have it yet, but something that you're yearning for, thank it already that it happened, like that. So you could also do that. So it's something that you're actually living into. So that takes it away from dealing with, living in your past. Now you're living into a future. So
Mhm.
so that's another way. And if you don't already meditate, just start meditation. And there's so many kinds, but even just sitting still, 5 minutes. I always tell the people who had never meditated, like, just take 5 minutes. Just take 5 minutes. Then 10, then 20, then 30, but start with 5 minutes. And it's not a perfect sit, but you get to sit quietly.
Yeah, I love that. So we have like 3 minutes left. Do you have any other
Fun
points?
thing.
Yeah, any fun things that you want to share with everyone before? Um, I think by the time I hit next Wednesday, we'll be into another month. We'll be into awareness experience. We'll be in an awareness month. So we'll be aware of the choices we made.
Ah.
So any words of encouragement, and then you want to share how people can get a hold of you?
Write down the choices that you want to make. Like what Jerry's talking about, since Jerry's telling us, letting us know about the whole month of August. Where are we? The 27th. Oh, not a lot of days. Yeah. So write down the choices that you're willing, okay, that you're willing to create for this month. And then with your meditation and your sitting and your contemplation, it's like, which one are you really going to take on, which will take you to the next month, right, Jerry?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't limit yourself right now. Just be totally expansive on the choices that you're willing to take on. And then from there, choose one that you're fully going to commit yourself, body, soul, mind, spirit.
Yeah, one step. One step is so powerful. I think we like to dream really big, and then we make it so hard to make a step. I mean, I know that's something that I've done in the past, and it's a form of self-sabotage. But just find one small step, even like with the vision. If you have a vision of yourself wearing something, buy something that's even close to it. Because every little step you take, it's a commitment to your soul saying, I'm saying yes to me. I'm
Yeah.
saying yes to what I know is true.
Yeah.
And just, little steps will get you there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it could just be like, okay, I'm going to make a choice of drinking so mmany ounces of water a day for
Yes.
the next 30 days. I mean, that is actually very good.
Yes. I agree.
Because your body, your health is an important part of your alignment, and then of your truth, and to be out here in the world. So it could be just that, and then celebrate each day when you finish that commitment.
Absolutely. So Joy, where can everyone find you?
Facebook, Joy Perreras. You could friend me there, and also the group bio. But Blossom Inside Out is the private group. And if you just want to check out more other things about me, joyperreras.com, which is my name.com. That's and then I'm launching a group program called Radically Aligned Immersion. It's a 9-week program next month. So if you're in my community, you'll hear about it. So that's cool.
Okay, well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joy. This was fun to have you on my, I'm just going to call it my rebirth day.
Yay! Happy birthday, and thank you for having me start it off. I feel honored. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we had people coming into the chat. It was so much fun. People saying they loved the talk and thank you. And
Rosemary, Jody.
Yeah, people wanted to wait in for you to come in. So it's so much fun to interact with listeners. Thank you so much for listening. This was great fun today, and so much fun to have an interaction and to be connected with a like soul. So until next week, everyone, have a great week and think about those choices. And we're here to cheer you on in your hell yes. Right, Joy?
Yes, hell yes. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.